Welcome to the podcast. I'm Art Moore, your host.
I am Eric Hansen, your host.
And this is the Talking About Noise podcast.
Coming back to you for another week of entertainment, excitement, and happiness.
That's right. Entertainment, excitement, and happiness. Not to forget the last important part, happiness.
Here in your
Look
musical
at my headphones.
world.
They look weird. I got like this hole right here that's sticking out. Does that look weird? Does that look weird? All right, folks. Sorry for looking weird.
Not so much here, but here that is the problem.
Yes. I am fat. Yes, very good. Very good.
Art,
No, I'm kidding.
I wasn't body shaming you.
I know. No, it's totally fine. And actually, I don't know much about the fat acceptance movement. I haven't gotten a letter from the organization demanding dues yet.
How funny would that be? They're like, we saw your profile and thought you might be interested in the fat acceptance program. How does this make you feel?
Oh, man.
That would be so awesome.
I did have a woman in a grocery store stop me and said, here, you should try these. It was some sort of multi-level marketing thing. And she said, you should try this patch thing. And, it's really good. And I was like, oh, are these vitamins? And she's like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm fine. I take like a ton of supplements. And she's like, oh, no, you don't understand. Like, I'm just always looking for healthy people to do this. You look very healthy. And I was like, lady, I'm overweight. I've got a problem. Like, I'm not denying that I have a problem.
I love how she was like, it's for healthy, quotation marks. It's healthy people.
Which is fine.
And you hit my demographic.
Yeah, you hit my demographic.
And for $200 a month, you could be selling these too.
You could become,
quote,
not only could you
people.
lose weight by putting this patch on you that's going to give you vitamin D and B12, right? Or whatever. Ginseng. Is that a thing? Is that a thing that people take to try to lose weight?
I'm pretty sure it was a nicotine patch.
Yeah, it's just a nicotine patch. Actually, that probably would be a good weight loss. Nicotine does something to your brain to help you lose weight. So I should take up smoking. Okay, that's what I should do.
You just made a money-making idea. Go buy some nicotine patches and rebrand them.
Make an MLM.
Farm an LMM. I know someone who just got arrested, or a friend. Someone who just got arrested. They were doing that. They were taking juice and then rebranding it and selling it in their own MLM.
Out of all the things you can do, that's one you can't. You just can't do that.
That's one of the dumbest things you can do.
That's a dumb thing. I'm really freaked out by my headphones here.
So, okay.
Oh, that looks better. Folks, if you're on YouTube.
Oh,
this is amazing.
So good.
So amazing. The beard, pretty luscious today. Looking good. I'm feeling confident. Confident, good looking.
Okay.
What have you been working on this week, Eric?
So, Art, I had a gig.
Oh my
Saturday.
gosh. I missed your gig.
No, that's okay.
Shoot.
It wasn't worth it.
Really?
It was an open mic night.
Oh, I would have come. I'm sorry.
It was weird.
Was it weird? Where was it at?
Really weird. So, locally there in Utah, there's a place called High Point Coffee.
Okay.
And they have an open mic night every
So it's a coffee shop.
Saturday. Yeah, so it's just the coffee shop thing. So, story time. You ready for this?
Yeah. Tell us the story of the Eric and Emily night.
Well, it's just the swoop.
The swoop. Sorry. The swoop.
Okay. So,
night.
We we got there, right? And, everyone was practicing it was like acoustic alley out in the back, right?
Oh, everyone's out with their acoustic guitars.
Just smoking and playing and drinking.
They're ready to do
their coffee.
They're ready to do like
maximum
acoustic
lattes
night.
And everyone's getting ready. And so we start with this electric guitar player, right? Gets up there and starts playing some Led Zeppelin riffs. I'm like, oh, this is going to be great.
All right.
He plays a little riff and he's like, it's not right, dude. It's not right.
No, not this guy.
Sound guy does something. He plays it again. So
they have a sound guy at this coffee shop.
They had a sound guy.
Is it a big place?
Yeah, it's relatively big. I mean, the sound, it's not really a soundboard. It's just, one of those tiny little
mixers.
And he just kind of plays with the volume and
the guy's like,
has
it's not
three
right.
EQ things. Yeah, that was it. And the guy's like, it's just not right. So this went on for a good 5 minutes.
Because he decided that not only was it just what do they call them? What was it again?
An electric guitar?
Open mic. No, it's an open mic. Sorry, I don't know that word just kind of slipped out of my head. I've been dropping words a lot lately and asking my wife the same questions over and over again. So I think I need some more sleep. But not only is it an open mic night, it's his personal sound check.
Yeah,
is that what he decided?
Well, so you only get 10 minutes. That's it.
So he decided to use half of it for sound check, half of it for
Oh, no.
playing.
He stops in the middle of playing and goes, it's just not right, man. It's just not right. So the sound guy goes, what sound are you looking for? And he goes, I'm thinking like Jimmy Page, Jimmy Page. Goes into a second song, starts playing halfway through. Man, I don't know. It sounds just not right. I think I'm going to have to start over. I was like, oh my gosh. It's this guy.
Oh my gosh. Did he have an amplifier? What was his situation?
No, he plugs straight into the system.
Well, you're
right.
never going to sound like Jimmy Page
Right.
through a PA. It does not function in that way where you can do that. There's no gain. There's gain, but there's not like an overdrive gain like a guitar amp.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
So he didn't even bring his own guitar amp, and he was complaining about the sound.
And I'm really confused. I guess I was really confused at the point of an open mic night. So everyone got up there and just played covers, like their favorite acoustic covers. And I was like, okay, cool. But it was like, isn't it kind of the point to like play your own stuff? To like,
No, never. The idea, like just in general for singer-songwriters, is not to play your own stuff because nobody wants to hear your stuff.
for an open mic night, though, that's you showcasing you.
Okay, so we understand your high ideals about what life should be and how things should be. I'm telling you the truth. Nobody wants to hear your songs. They want to hear your crappy version of a cover of a song that they kind of like.
No, I don't. I wanted to hear original material.
I know, I do too. I hate it when they do the covers.
Oh,
but
and they're horrible.
that's what everyone thinks. They think that they want to hear the covers.
I walked up and I said, "Where's the swoop?" So anyway, here's our version of Wonderwall.
So,
and then started playing our music.
did you really do that?
Yeah.
You're like, this is our version of Wonderwall. And then you're like, forever timeless.
Yeah. So,
Dude, that is awesome. You got something in your eye there?
I don't know.
Did like some spit like bounce off of there and get you in the eye? I'm sorry. Anyways.
So anyway, people were always saying like, "Hey, you need to warm up with an open mic night." It's kind of like the rite of passage. We never did that as a band.
No, because we were too big to go into an open night.
Yeah, and
mic night.
So they did not want drums in the place. They were very hesitant to include drums.
To any kind of drum. I'm sure she didn't bring her whole kit.
No,
right?
she brought her whole kit.
Oh, she did.
Dude, we play for real.
You guys had 10 minutes and you like rocked it for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Swoop style.
That's what we do.
That is awesome.
And afterwards, like the sound guy was like, "Okay, I'm glad you guys came. That was really good."
That was really cool.
And I'm like, "Dang straight, yo." So afterwards,
we're coming back next Wednesday night.
Afterwards,
between 6:30 and 7:15.
Afterwards,
we're coming.
We finish. We're putting Emily's drums away, and I'm not going to say creepy. I'll just say super creepy. Guy
Super
comes
creepy
up
guy.
and is like, "So, those drums are awesome. How would you guys like to, take them outside and maybe jam a little bit? That was so great." And I'm like,
"What? Take them
what?
outside?
Take them out?
Are you gonna kill us?"
That's what my first thought was like. He's gonna kill us and steal the drums.
I got a spot behind the dumpster.
How would you like to come back
to jam? And what was he gonna play? What was his thing?
Guitar. And he's like, "I've never played with a drum before. This is amazing. Like, I want to play my guitar with drums." And I'm like, and he just like had this stare, like.
Was he also a participant in the open mic night? Oh my gosh, this is weird, and you're touching me. So
yeah, that's what it was like.
Very, very uncomfortable. Oh my gosh, Eric, I can't.
And so I was like,
do this.
Abort!
Too much.
Abort!
Too much.
We need to get out. I'm gonna die tonight. Some creepy guy's gonna kill me over drums,
You're like,
or he's gonna kill Emily over drums.
911 on the phone as you're.
So, anyway, open mic night, really weird. Anyway, we have a gig in a month. So, I'm not good at the maths, apparently.
The maths, all the maths?
The maths are bad.
Okay.
Emily goes, she looks at me and she goes, "So we have some songs, we have 6 songs.
Okay, 6 songs you guys have worked up.
How long is our set?"
Oh no.
And I was like,
"No, you never do the math."
And I was like, our set's an hour.
No.
We got an hour.
What?
And she was like,
am bad at math.
Wait a minute.
And I know that's not an hour.
And she goes, wait a minute. If we may play maybe six minutes a song, right? And I was like, Oh, that's not an hour. So I've been working furiously this week trying to
Getting
get 5 more songs
ready
done.
to go.
Ready to go.
I think about 9 will cover about
how
45
did I
minutes.
miss that?
Yeah, 9 songs will cover about 45 minutes. So that's a pretty good.
Whatever. I'm going to give my comedy stand-up. That'll take at least 10.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Who doesn't want comedy stand-up?
In the middle of one song, you're going to have to take a ridiculously long guitar solo.
Right, and then I'll
where
be like,
you kind of like go out into the audience
hey,
and you rock out there.
Hey, guys, you're the best. Go. Want to hear a joke?
Have you thought about wearing a boom mic? You know, one that comes around
I should.
to your, like a boom mic that's right there.
You're special, and you're special. So anyway,
that's an idea.
It's been quite the week.
That has been quite the week. Way more exciting than my week. So,
no, man, I don't know if that's exciting.
Almost getting killed at a.
Actually, yeah, that is kind of cool.
That's pretty exciting. I'd say.
So
get your adrenaline pumping. Get things working.
What about you?
Recording commercials and adding new students.
You recorded a commercial?
Several commercials, yes.
What? For what?
I have a tendency to record commercials. Well, I'm not
Triple Dent Gum?
No.
Will make you smile?
Okay. So I record, I have
smile.
On occasion recorded voiceovers for a company that does radio commercials.
What? How did I not know this?
Eric, there's a whole bunch of stuff I don't tell you. We're not sitting at this table every day doing this for an hour. We should sit at this table every day and do this for an hour.
There's some stuff I don't want to know.
No, nobody wants to know.
But
some stuff,
What are you doing?
I'm just working. It's just work.
For what? Like what commercials?
I'm not going to tell you what commercials.
What?
But it's a clothing company.
Oh, okay. So would this be a male or female clothing company?
And then we're going to stop.
21 questions.
I'm pretty sure the specifics don't matter as much as the fact that I'm just working and I'm taking on new students. So that's exciting. I find that when I have new students come into my teaching schedule, I get kind of a burst of energy. Like they get me excited for teaching. And so this period where I add new students is always really exciting. But it's also been kind of like that scheduling shuffle game where you're shuffling everyone around.
Yeah, we've had that too.
It kind of gets crazy. But fortunately,
summer and the start of school is kind of crazy.
Yeah, definitely.
And then there's this teenage phase where like my teenage students were all dropping out.
Yeah.
They were just
Does that happen?
Giving up on life.
Giving up on everything, not just you?
Yeah.
That's rough.
Or at least that's what they said to make me feel better.
Yeah.
It's not you. It's
not
me.
You. It's me. I'm giving up on
Oh my
everything.
Goodness, they broke up with me.
Not just
I didn't
with you.
think about it.
Dude, they totally broke up with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sad. I'm sorry, man.
I'm not. I'm better for it.
Hey,
I'm a better person.
By the way, there is something we have needed to talk about.
Wait, what?
Just things they're not as special as they used to be. And I don't feel like you listened to me like you did a couple years ago.
A couple of years
Just kidding.
I haven't been listening to you for like 10 years now, Art.
I know.
I haven't been listening since we met.
It was very evident while we were in band together that no one was listening to me.
That's because you were playing so freaking loud.
I know. I was a loud player, wasn't I?
Yes.
That's right. Well, if I'm not the loudest person in a room, you'll notice even our levels, I'm just a little bit higher than
I
you.
love how you did that. You made sure that you were just a tiny bit louder than me.
No, I'm not exactly sure what's happening there, but it all evens out eventually, hopefully.
So should we move on to news?
Let's move on to some news. Hey, folks, how's it going? We're talking about news. We are talking about some good news. And
I get it. It's a
up-
play off of our podcast, talking about noise, talking about news. That's so good.
You can do it about pretty
I
much
totally
anything.
missed it.
Talking about Eric, talking about Eric's insecurities, talking about Eric's narcissism.
Narcissism would be better.
Okay, so I have a piece of news.
You know how insecure
It's
I am about
on
my
head.
insecurities?
I got to get it off. I got to get it out to you people. Everyone's talking about it anyways. It's a big deal, and it's really frustrating me. Apple has removed the headphone jack on their phones.
You're really mad about this?
I am angry about this. I am peeved.
This is so good.
I don't even use Apple
gosh.
phones. And Apple is not, let's get this clear.
What?
Apple is not the only people who I am angry with. So
There's
the
some
Moto
Android
Z,
phones that do this too.
Yeah, the Moto Z has done away with the headphone jack as well. So
Okay.
this headphone jack has been
bracing
around.
myself.
This specific jack has been around for like, I don't know, decades upon decades upon decades. The technology is simple. It's easy. It's fast. It's good.
Okay. Keep going.
So it's not like the floppy drive or the DVD or FireWire, which all met their limitations and then could not go past their limitations. And so eventually they got dropped in favor of a technology that was newer and better. This is just stupid. All right. What do you think, Eric?
That's it? That's all you're going to give me?
Well, no, I'm trying to start a conversation, so I'm not, completely dominating everything. But let me tell you something about Apple.
All it takes is a few little nuggets.
So Apple overcharges for all of their hardware, all of their software. Everything is way, way overpriced for what they provide. And from what I have found in my own personal use and in everyone who asks me, because I kind of the tech person in my circles, so people ask me to fix their computers. Every Mac I've come across has had a serious, major physical problem that was not there because of overuse or misuse or anything like that. It just broke. Yep. And if there's actually a guy on YouTube now who posts videos of himself fixing Mac computers, and Apple doesn't even post specs on their computers so someone can actually repair them. And I think that this kind of goes against that. There's a new movement online. It's called the right to repair, and it is this movement that we should be able to open our electronics and fix them.
For real?
We should have a right protected in our laws to repair the things that we have.
So, from a business standpoint, yes. I'm okay with you fixing your stuff as long as you pay a $10 monthly fee for the right to fix your equipment.
It no longer becomes a right at that point.
The right of fixing subscription fee.
No, I'm not. And
not only that, I'll throw in a bonus telephone call.
No, I don't need telephone calls, man.
Doesn't matter.
So let's
I'm
talk
offering
about
it.
Let's talk about my specific situation, not with Apple, but with PreSonus. Now, PreSonus makes audio devices, and they had made a FirePod device. Okay, it had 8 inputs, and you could daisy chain 3 of them together. Over time, I've accumulated 3 of these, and these were for a very long time my main.
They were your go-to thing.
Those were my main audio devices, and I had 24 inputs, and they worked at low latency. I got 48 kilohertz out of them, 24-bit. It was they were professional. They were great, prosumer, but they were professional level quality.
Prosumer.
And the dang things kept breaking. First off, the power switch on mine busted. And so I opened up, found where the power switch was, realized that it was just a jumper, and put a hard drive, like one of the old IDE jumpers for the hard drives, fit right on there. So I put it on there. And now they're constantly on. So I turn them off by an external surge protector, and they go right up. So that, if I sent that into PreSonus, would be an $85 charge just to get that repaired. A few years later, I had a capacitor on the actual circuit board totally blow. Capacitors at some point, they will overheat and they will you'll see the top kind of bubble up, and you can tell that, hey, that capacitor is bad. So the whole system went down, another 85 back to PreSonus. So to fix that, I found the capacitor, I acquired.
And there was probably a YouTube video, right?
A capacitor. There was no YouTube video on how to fix this one. But there are YouTube videos on how to, change a capacitor out. And total cost of the repair, not counting my labor, 5 cents to repair that. Now, I use that knowledge, and every new FirePod I got in, I went ahead and I did those 2 upgrades. I removed the power switch, I jumped it, and then I changed out that one capacitor. And let me tell you, it is the most stable running audio interface I've ever seen. It's even more stable than what I have now. So it's
once again,
it was amazing.
As a company, I would like to say, you got away easy. I want that $85.
Yeah, I know. We have a right to repair. We should have a right to repair.
I don't know.
And it goes
as
down
soon as
to
you
like
sign
this Apple
the
thing.
subscription fee.
Okay.
Oh
man, that's the thing too. Is like everybody wants you to subscribe to everything. Have you noticed that? Like, there's just so many freaking subscriptions. I mean, I subscribe to Netflix, to Hulu, to Amazon.
Yeah, but that's entertainment.
To Spotify.
This is not for production.
Well, I mean, it might as well be for entertainment. You've got the Slate plugins now have a subscription model. You can pay $24 a month to subscribe to all of the Slate plugins, and then as soon as you stop subscribing, you don't have access to them anymore.
Interesting.
So forget about going back to the mixes.
So it's a rental instead of
a rent plugins kind of situation. Yeah.
Interesting.
Figure that out.
Weird.
I am looking for more of a...
Some Slate plugins, I would actually like to get my hands on. Those are some fun. They got some fun stuff.
Yeah, Slate plugins are fantastic. I only run Slate drums. They're the drum software. And the reason for that is that everything else requires the iLock. And I'm not going to rant about that today, but I may rant about it again in the future. I've ranted about it in the past. And I just try to stay away from iLock stuff. As in, I don't buy stuff that has iLock on it because I don't want an iLock and I don't have one and I'm not going to buy one. All right, I am done.
Awesome, Art.
Even my wife is like,
that was a good rant.
I think I'm going to move over to Galaxy, move over to the Samsung line of products. I was like, hey, come on over. We have our own issues, but
everything has its issues. Yeah. No matter what you do.
I know. But this headphone thing is a big deal. I'm not happy. What do you got? What's going on?
Like, I was using a Bluetooth headset for the longest time. Not a big deal.
And you never, ever thought, hey, I want to use a different pair of headphones that I just have sitting right here next to me?
So I have. I don't know.
Did you use those headphones?
You can still use the headphones.
Did you use the headphones?
Need a little plugger
Did you use the headphones?
Yes.
You use the headphones?
Yes, I use the
headphones.
My
point has been made. You make it for me. Speaking to you is like just,
oh my gosh,
being an amazing TV lawyer that doesn't have to explain anything.
Okay.
It's like if they could change the guitar cable.
I would totally be for it.
You would be for changing the guitar cable?
Yeah.
No vintage amps would work.
No. As long as you had it backwards compatible. I don't know how you could change it, though. How would you make it better?
Apple is to subscribe to Apple's way of thinking is to subscribe to a life of dongles. That's all they do is dongles for everything. Here's a dongle for your USB-C so you can plug in stuff and be charging at the same time. Okay. Here's your dongle for your phone so you can plug in your headphones, but you know what? You can't charge and plug in your headphones. You actually need another dongle to be able to charge and do your headphones at the same time.
Living the dongle life. Beautiful.
It's ridiculous. What do you have for news, Eric?
I was going to do something a little happier.
Happier?
I tell you, this thing has made people mad.
The iTunes thing? The iPhone thing?
The iPhone thing. And I just kind of look at you and go, all right, whatever.
But you already made the point that I was trying to make.
All right.
You are the case study for what I am trying to say here. You are the person that I am speaking to directly.
Articus.
Hey, dummy.
Arthulian.
Get a phone with an actual jack on it.
Okay. So you know what I found out?
We're not going to even have time for the segment today.
You know what I found out this week?
We're just going to be talking about news and ranting today.
You know what I found out this week?
I bet you're going to tell me.
Chance the Rapper.
Chance the Rapper, yep.
Does not have a record contract. He's totally indie.
What?
I know, right?
That's awesome.
Blew my mind. You know what else I found out?
Tell me.
You were talking about Frank Ocean last week.
Yes.
What you forgot to mention.
I did not mention it. We're going to mention it now.
Was that he actually tricked his record label. He was under a record contract with Universal.
Okay. With the first record?
And
he went on to the second one?
And for the second one, he released like a dumpy album that was no good. Oh. And then went and released Blonde by himself.
On his own. That's so weird.
Yeah. The whole thing is weird.
I mean, it's weird to
but he totally
put out a dummy
finagled
album.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And so people bought the dummy album and they're like, well, this is no good. And they were like, where's the real stuff? And they had to go, he had that exclusive streaming thing with
Apple.
Tidal? No, Apple.
Yeah, Apple Music.
Yeah, so we went and signed with Apple for the exclusive thing and gave them the real music.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. Weird. Anyway, what I really had was I just thought was fascinating.
Oh, so interesting thing we also did not mention, when you listen to that on either an Apple device or an Android device on Apple Music, they did include a dongle. It was a seashell.
Shut up.
A seashell
You're
dongle.
so full of crap.
You put both of them up on your ears.
Oh my gosh.
They're a wireless
Stop with the dongle talk.
wireless seashell dongles.
Why do we keep talking about dongles? I don't want to talk about dongles anymore.
It's a weird word, right? Like every time you say dongle, you're like, I don't feel comfortable saying that word.
You
Dongle.
not me. Maybe
Dongle.
you don't.
Dongle. Dongle.
Art,
Dongle.
I'm going to move on.
Dongle.
Okay. Oh my gosh.
Go.
Okay. So, I'm thoroughly convinced that Tupac Shakur is still alive.
Really?
Yes.
There is very little evidence to support that claim.
Nope. Check this out.
Okay, hit me.
So before he died in quotes.
Quote,
right?
died.
Good job.
Yeah, I'm on top of it.
Paul McCartney did die, right? Was
Oh,
taken
we're
over
not
by
getting into
someone
your
else.
conspiracy theorists. Let's just work on this one for right now. That not the Paul McCartney thing. I can't.
But Jim
deal with
Morrison isn't dead.
it. Jim Morrison isn't dead?
Neither is Tupac. Anyway. Okay. Tupac sketched out ideas for his cookbook and restaurant based upon his own recipes as well as contributions from other musicians. Someone has decided to go ahead and open up a pop-up shop. We've talked about pop-up
With
shop
Tupac.
before.
Yeah, with Tupac.
But this time, it's a restaurant, a pop-up shop restaurant.
What?
Including Tupac's cookbook, his own recipes.
That
from
is
his
really
cookbook.
interesting. What did Tupac
Which leads me
cook?
to believe Tupac is actually hiding in a basement somewhere. And he was like, I am bored.
Oh,
Let's
that
open
sounds
up a
interesting.
restaurant. I need some more money.
It feels like there's a little nursery rhyme. If Tupac could cook, what would Tupac cook if cooking was Tupac's passion? That's pretty darn
I
good.
really don't know what to do with that. Okay, so
Take it and love it, man. Love it. Love it for the
so
amazingness
it's
that
going
it
to be
is.
called the Pauameka Cafe.
Are you sure that's right? Let me see that. The
Pauameka.
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 Thank you.
Pauameka.
Whatever.
Pauameka.
And it,
What is that? Native American?
I have
We
no
don't know.
idea. Okay. It will include items from Tupac's original sketches and serve some original Tupac-themed dishes,
Tupac themed.
such
Oh.
as California Love Chicken Sandwich, Hennessy Apple Butter Chicken Wings, Mac and Cheeseburger Thug Passion,
Okay.
right?
And it's going to be a pop
Love
up
it.
restaurant. Man, just the logistics
Champagne
of getting,
cakes.
the logistics of getting a restaurant off the ground.
I know,
are
but doing
pretty
so it looks
intense.
like they're doing it in an already up and running restaurant in Fresno. They're just going to suddenly say this is a Tupac pop-up themed restaurant.
That's so stupid.
So anyway, I'm
Sorry.
he's alive. He's alive.
I think he's dead, and I think this idea is dumb.
I think. Shut up! I think it's awesome. Go Tupac.
Yeah, you would think it's pretty awesome.
He was the voice of a generation
was the
before
voice of a
before
generation.
Kanye came along.
Oh, yeah, he probably was.
I actually got in a discussion the other day, like who was better, right? Eminem or Kanye?
That is an interesting question.
Obviously,
not one that I'm
my
qualified
heart
to
was
answer.
partial to Kanye,
Yeah, but
but the other guy was like, I worship Eminem. So Eminem is the voice of a generation.
Eminem.
And I'm like, whatever Kanye said he is, so he is.
So Eminem
Boom.
is Eminem, fairly relevant now? I'm not hooked into that world. I don't think he's released anything for a while, has he?
Yeah, 2 years ago, dude.
2 years ago. Never mind. I'm going to shut up.
Yeah. All right, moving on.
All right, I'll go listen to
Hey,
his album.
no, don't. Art,
Don't listen to it?
don't. If you're uncomfortable with the word dongle, you are going to struggle with Eminem. I am just telling you right now.
I'll listen to the G-rated version on...
What? There's no... How would that even be possible?
Well, they take those CDs and they take popular songs and they have kids sing them.
Oh my gosh.
And so-
Eminem Kids Bop. Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. We need to do that and have the
Maybe
kids
I
sing.
can get one of those and listen to Eminem that way.
Oh my gosh.
That's my thought.
He has this song on his first album about like him fantasizing about beating his wife, Art.
All right.
And we'll have kids sing that.
Okay.
That would be so funny. Oh, we're horrible.
We should have kids come in and do a video of them just reciting Eminem's lyrics. I think that'd be pretty hilarious.
And
Jimmy Kimmel
we'd
style.
be in trouble.
Yeah, we'd probably get in trouble
Pretty quick.
Well, we'd have all kind of releases for parents to sign and stuff. They probably wouldn't sign them.
Yeah, they wouldn't care.
All right, folks, on to our production.
I'm excited, Art,
Yeah.
because I want some production knowledge dropped on me.
Well, Eric, here's the thing. You have no idea what we're doing today.
I have none whatsoever.
So what we're going to do
you
is
didn't
we're
give
going
me any prepping material. You
I
didn't
know.
give me anything to practice.
Well, part of
I
that
usually practice
was-
in the mirror.
Part of that was I wanted to make sure that this was off the cuff and not in any way, rehearsed or staged. I wanted your real responses, your real information, the way you do things raw. That's how I wanted it. So this is what we're going to do. We're going to talk today about how we approach mixing.
Oh, that.
See,
So you're
that's
the
raw-
production person.
That's the raw thing I want right now.
I'm the songwriting person. Together we make magic.
So you mixed together your entire album last time.
Yeah, I didn't do a very good job.
All right.
Magic.
So we can talk about that on a different show.
We will
Because
critique your
in
horrible
listening to
job.
it, there were lots of amazing things you did, some really, really great things, and I
Thanks,
enjoyed
man.
it. Now, the other thing is I mixed together many of your YouTube videos that you did.
You did.
And they were similar songs, if not the same song. So I think we have a very interesting kind of look on what a mix looks like, how a mix gets started, and what we kind of go about like that. This won't be a long segment. We're just going to kind of do an overview, and then each section will kind of hit a little bit more on a different episode. But for right now, it's mixing overview. How do you begin a mix? How do you start? Eric, take one of the songs that you had done on your album, and just tell us, how did you start mixing that? What was the first thing you did?
Well, okay.
Or
we
not.
go.
You don't have to.
Export everything into stems first.
Oh, interesting.
Create your new file.
Okay.
Then create your buses. You're going to have a vocal bus, a drum bus, guitar bus.
And with Reaper, do you actually make separate buses for those, or do you put them in folders and
Both.
both? You do both.
Both. Why would you not do both?
So stop right there before we do anything else. So general setup, normally I will put all the drum tracks in a drum folder.
Yeah.
And that folder becomes the bus for all the drum tracks.
That's the same thing.
And that's what you're saying?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then let's see. So we've got synths. If I have any synths or anything of that sort, they all go in the same bus. What's next? Vocals? Did I say vocals?
You said you had a bus for vocals?
Okay, so drums, guitar, synths, vocals, and then bass is usually on its own.
On its own.
Okay. Then next step, I will do some reference tracks. Reference.
So right off the gate, you've got a reference track loaded in that you're like shooting for, something you're kind of
I'm going to take
an idea that's close to what you want.
I'm going to take 4 songs, right?
4 reference tracks.
And then go over them and be like, this was what is in my head originally.
Okay.
And then I'm going to listen to them and go, nah, that one has too much guitar, blah, blah, blah. So I'll narrow it down to 1 as I go back and forth. So I'll listen to the reference track and be like, okay, this is what I had in mind. Sometimes I'll even be like, this is what I had in mind for the verse, this is what I had in mind for the chorus.
Okay.
Different ideas.
Yeah, for sure.
And then I narrow it down to 1 reference track I want to take a listen to. And then I start working on just lightly on the buses. First is the volumes within each group. Mm-hmm. Make sure everything matches within each group.
So kind of doing a simple fader mix in the groups?
Simple fader mix in the groups.
Okay. Do you pan at this stage as well?
No.
So no
Not
panning
yet.
at that point. Everything is straight up the line mono?
Everything's mono right now. And actually, I put it in mono. Just in case.
I don't understand. You put the
Click
tracks
on the mono button.
On the mono button
On the
main
master
track,
fader.
On the master fader. Okay.
Okay. And then
This is so interesting. This is completely different than the way I set up.
Oh, interesting.
I like hearing about
And
this.
then I start lightly. Once I've got the faders kind of where I like them for each group. So we'll start with the drums first.
Mm-hmm.
Put on some compression and EQ and start.
So let's hold off there for 1 second, because what I want to do is compare like basic setups here. So you've gotten everything set up, you put everything in folders, and you're doing inside each folder basic level mixing, right? Mm-hmm. But everything is strictly mono at this stage. You haven't done
Correct.
any stereo information at all.
Nothing.
Which drives me nuts. I think that's so cool. That's the way you do it. Because I, in fact, the very first thing I do is some sort of stereo information, so I don't feel like I'm listening to a mono mix.
I think you're supposed to go stereo at the very last stage, right?
Well, I think that there's a lot of different ways to kind of develop it. So let me kind of break down my opening chess move for mixing a song or a CD. Let's see.
Pawn to C4.
Hold on 1 second.
Pause.
I think everything's still running. I think we just lost our hookup. After mixing the last thing together, I'm like, oh man.
Never again.
Putting the podcast together is so easy comparatively. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So it is still going.
Yeah, everything's still running.
Okay. Continue.
Okay.
Now.
So I think it's interesting because my go-to move is to get something in the stereo space. So I will most of the time try to think of what is the supporting pad in this song. And to be clear, I still do my organization like Eric did. I put all the Voxes in one folder, and I put all the guitars in a folder. Drums definitely go into their own folder, and then I color coordinate it all. So it's
color. I forgot about that.
Do you do that?
I do colors.
I actually have a quick key on my keyboard that just says assigned everything in this thing, assigned it to the same random color. So I'll actually just go through and cycle through them. I found that's faster than trying to select a color. Mm-hmm. So I have that. So I organize that way, and I also always have Vox, guitar, keyboards, bass, and then drums. That's how I kind of have it spaced out. I don't know if you do it similarly or the opposite. Excuse me. So
I usually do drums on top, then bass, then guitar, then Vox.
So you're the opposite. So for you, the setup is the opposite way.
Yep.
Which again, totally would find it annoying, but I think it is really interesting to see what would work there. So then what I do is I try to find what is the base, the supporting structure of the song. What is going to be the thing that holds the song together? Is it the piano, or is it the acoustic guitar, or is it the distorted electric guitar? What is it that kind of supports everything? And I'm going to call it the kind of like the lifesaver, the raft of the song. It kind of supports all areas of the song, and you may get a part where it pulls out and comes back in, but in general it's there almost all the time. And I will almost always put that in some sort of stereo widener, and I will put that on 2 levels. So if I have multiple guitar parts that are doubled, I will throw them on each side. If not, if I have one guitar part, I will use like a delay and the Haas effect and kind of stereo widen that. And I do that before I do anything else, because I need that support for the song this way before I feel like I can start going up and down with the mono information for vocals and bass and that kind of thing.
Interesting.
Kind of crazy, huh?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit more about this mono mixing and what you do next. So you start getting into the drums, right? Mm-hmm. Tell me about that. Is that when you start looking at all the information you have, is the drums the first thing you start working on?
Mm-hmm. And then EQ, compression on drums. Then usually create a return bus with for your parallel compression.
Okay.
Any reverb. create your delay channel, create your... Yeah, that's it.
So, interesting for all the returns going back to kind of an effects channel
Yeah,
or
the
track
aux
or something,
channels.
aux channels. Do you run everything through the same parallel compressor, or do you just run the drums through?
No, the
parallel
drums would have
compressor?
their own.
They only
right?
have their own. They have their
So
own.
it'd be called drum aux.
Drum pair comp. That's what I label mine, actually.
Drum comp aux pair aux comparables.
Yeah, it's funny, like all the little nomenclature you use just to label things, because you want it to fit in that little tiny space, so you can tell exactly what it is. And I've had tracks where, they're sent to me. It's like acoustic guitar number 1, acoustic guitar number 12, but I missed the 2, and 13, 14.
Yeah.
So they all look like acoustic guitar number 1s. Anyway, so I think that's really interesting for me when I start working on a mix. It's getting that big kind of life raft thing going, right? And then I actually start mixing in everything from there outward, if that makes sense. So I start from there, and then I'm going to start to make sure the other guitars start to work with that, but not EQ them too harshly yet. Add in the bass. Add the compression and stuff onto the bass, and then finally I'll get to the drums and do all the processing I do on that. And that's a whole separate segment, I think, like on drum processing for mix.
Interesting.
So yeah,
Cool.
yeah. All right,
That's about as far as I get. I can't think. And then I turn it over to you, and you do the rest.
And then you turn it over to me. Well, that's not true this last time. You did a great job. For me, the other couple of things that I like to do in a mix that really help me go through it. So I start with the life raft. I start kind of breaking apart or mixing in all the separate parts kind of in a circle or from that emanate from that. And then once I get the drums and everything kind of sounding good, I'm going to add the vocals in. And the vocals, and for me, are always the hardest part to slap in and to get in. They never quite go right.
Yeah, I was reading an article the other day about a guy that specifically goes over every single part and actually changes the volume of the actual file up and down, and then does fader adjustments for the automation.
Oh,
and
wow.
Then does compression. And then the EQ and compression, then does parallel compression. It's like this triple tiered system.
Yeah, so he's dealing with every bit of
every
gain,
possible contingency that you can deal with.
Every bit of gain,
So, that was
adjustment
fascinating.
he's able to do. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Reaper now and many other DAWs also have gain adjustment right in the file as well.
Yeah,
so
you
you can just pull it, grab the top of
Almost
it, pull
everything
it down.
does now.
Yeah, it's really nice. It's nice when you have for instance, a commercial and you do multiple takes and you're trying to splice it together and you get one that's just slightly louder.
Look at you, Mr. Commercial
Pull
Man.
it down, make it work.
Look at you, Mr. Commercial.
What am I going to say? Yo. So
Doing
a couple
voiceover work.
So a couple things
Do
that
you feel that you need to go to the bathroom frequently?
Yeah, exactly.
Why am I doing this?
Well, I think we should talk about vocals again in another segment, like how really to get
vocals
them to
are a total
fit.
different thing.
But just in general, I wanted to get an overview of how Eric and I approach a mix. Eric is very much, it seems, to be kind of, I don't know how to like a fader mix first, and then start to make major adjustments after that. And I think that's a really good way to approach that. Would you agree with that?
Sure.
Like a big fader. Well, at what point do you add in?
It's big moves. You start big, work your way in.
At what point do you start figuring in panning, issues?
So once you have everything set, then you move to stereo and start panning and stuff.
Oh, okay. So once everything's good. For me, it's I go into mono many times throughout the mix to check the mono compatibility and just I find that mono mixing helps me figure out where things live vertically.
Yeah.
And that is really helpful.
Yeah, you need to do that to see where things live vertically.
All right. Well, folks, we're going to talk about...
Here we go.
We're going to move on. So
we're going to talk about happiness.
Yeah, we're going to... Oh, that's right. That's our whole shtick today, isn't it? All right. What do you say, Eric?
I love that I brought in happiness, and that's been my go-to thing this episode.
Yeah, you've been very happy and very encouraging and very positive, which is something you're not normally. I mean, you're pretty positive most of the time, but there's a certain...
Stop. Just stop now. Say I'm a horrible person. Oh, that's what else I was going to talk about. I was going to tell you. So,
tell me, what's going on?
Native Instruments just released a new thing, a new board that goes with Machina.
Oh, wow.
Like, it's called Jam. Machina Jam.
Machina Jam. Is it more for like live performance type stuff?
Yeah, I just saw the video. Well, I think it's both. It's like a step sequencer and stuff.
Let's see. Oh, that looks cool.
I got really... Don't show it. Stop.
Can they even see it on this? Can you guys see that?
Just
Let us know in the comments. If you like the way we do graphics around here, let's see. If I hold it right here,
it's going to be
It can be just like, John Oliver, John Stewart.
I just saw one video and I was like, that looks awesome.
Yeah,
I need it, even though I don't really need it. Anyway, I don't have a pick of the week this week, so you go.
That's okay. I do have a pick of the week. I am looking at the band entitled Los Kingdom.
Just titled, not entitled.
What did I say? Entitled? Sorry, guys. A band titled Los Kingdom, and the album is The Patron Saint. Now, these guys are they are singers. They are really fantastic singers. And they...
Make sure it's Los Kingdom, not Lost Kingdom.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like Lost.
Los Kingdom. Right, LOS.
Kind of like Los Angeles.
Yeah, but is that Los Angeles or is it Los Angeles?
I don't know.
I thought it was Las Vegas. LASVEGAS.
I say Los Angeles. What do I know?
I think it's Los Angeles. LAS. No, it is LOS.
It is
because Los Angeles.
We say Los Angeles
Dodgers. Yeah,
because in America, that's what we do.
That's right.
We take other people's languages and make
Las
it our
Taco, Las Burrito. I'm not. I don't speak Spanish. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to all our Latino speakers.
So look.
Yes, Los Kingdom. This song is entitled. Oh shoot, I had that up. This song is entitled.
No, just titled.
Wake Up.
Not entitled. You are entitled to $2 million when you get older.
This song is entitled? No, just titled Wake Up This Morning. Okay.
Wake Up This Morning. Okay.
Wake Up This Morning.
There ain't nothing wrong with my mind. It was set on freedom. There ain't nothing wrong with my mind. It was set on freedom. Hallelujah, 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 hallelujah. Oh, yeah.
So, no drums?
Not on that track. They do on a couple other tracks, but it is like electric guitar and them singing, and it is hot.
No bass?
Not on that song.
Interesting.
That's why I specifically played that one, is because it's such a different
no drums?
sound. Oh my gosh.
That's kind of cool. I like it.
Yeah, it's way cool.
What was it called again? No.
Wake Me Up in the Morning.
Wake Me Up in the Morning.
Or I Wake Up in the Morning. Wake Up in the Morning. We're gonna put links down below.
You have lost it
in the YouTube description and on the website. You can go there to find us. Talking about noise.blogspot.com. We are on YouTube. Just look up Not Talking About Noise Audio Show. We are on Twitter. I am at Artmore Studios. He is at I Am The Swoop. Check out Eric's band. theswoop.banddougal.com. Bandzoogle? Or is it just theswoop.com?
It's band dongle. Why can't you get this right?
No.
It's just theswooptheband.com.
Theswooptheband.com. Sorry, guys.
On thedongle.com.
On the dongle.
Art. The dongle.
That's it, folks. Thanks so much for listening to us. We will see you next week.